started because I mean, what the hell?
The thing is, when I text you on Wednesday, I knew one of the main topics we were gonna talk about. Pretty much the only topic at the time to talk about
All it takes is a day to change in this world.
the debate. That was the thing that at first I came to talk about.
Okay, well, let's talk about the debate because that's not the main thing I want to discuss, but it was the main thing. I agree.
That was the
Let's
main
say
thing
about
on Wednesday, and then everything flipped yesterday
yes.
or this
But what
morning.
shall we
This
say
morning.
about that service?
Question number one is I really don't know why they don't just mute whoever's not supposed to be talking at the moment because
Because
that
I think they expect someone on a level of running for president or to be able to control themselves. Because even like I mean, second grade debaters, when they're debating dogs versus cats, somebody actually did a video of that. The second graders were able to wait their turns and did not act as ignorantly as y'all's president acted.
true, but they also had a preview in 2016 because he was kind of doing the same exact thing to Hillary.
Right.
So you knew that this is how he gets down.
You know he's ignorant.
Like you know that he's not gonna because the thing is his whole approach to things is if I talk over you, then everybody who's on my side will think this is just some grand success. Because I see, like, he hasn't turned away any of
Oh,
his.
hey, Kitty, another one.
That's the other one, yeah. Like he hasn't turned away any of his base. Like they love this shit. Like they think
Oh,
this.
they love the
Oh,
ignorance.
Biden got killed in that debate, and I'm just like, first off, you and I have expressed our iffiness about Biden, if you will. We've already talked about this, but it's like, so I'm not. So I'm the last person that's going to come here and basically throw on the cape for Joe Biden. I'm not going to do that, right? And there goes the second one.
I'm
But
just tickled by the cats. Sorry.
on the same token, it's like getting into a yelling match is not what you should want from the leader of the fucking free world. That's not what you should want. Especially because, and here's the thing, and here's how I know just how biased everyone is too. Chris Wallace is well known for basically being middle of the road. He's even keel. Like, like we know that he's like, I'm pretty sure, like, he's a Republican and what have you, but he's even keel. Guess it's kind of the same thing with like John Kasich. Like we know Kasich is a Republican, but he's of sound mind and sound judgment, where we don't have to necessarily agree on issues, et cetera, et cetera. But you know that they're at least gonna act like they have some decorum.
Right.
And it's like you even see Trump fans attacking Chris Wallace. And I'm just like, Chris Wallace is literally trying to maintain order in this fucking building
And
because
trying is the key word. He did not take order.
president doesn't know how to have a conversation. He does not know how to have a conversation. It's just that if I just yell and scream and talk over you and call your son a cokehead and just a bunch of other stuff, it's just like those type of insults is what we did in high school. Oh, your son is a cokehead. Like, that's what?
Yeah, it was. Well, let me say this. Folks can't ever call black people ghetto again. That's one thing that we could say. They always try to act like we didn't know how to act. Trump is they can never call, how they always say somebody was acting ghetto? Like ghetto people were embarrassed for him. Like I don't even know what that fucking trifling behavior was, but they're always saying we don't know how to act, right? Obama, they would have arrested his ass on the stage had he showed out like that fool showed out. It was embarrassing, and then it just shows he has no class because you don't talk about somebody's kids, right? You do not talk about somebody's kids, but he doesn't have anything. He can't talk about policies. He cannot talk about his results without lying. So he just has to take things left. It was absolutely, you know what, and even they can't talk about someone being ghetto or poorly or talking about people being professional. Like there was just no level of professionalism or decorum there. I was embarrassed for my whole country. Like
Like,
I
you
was
know,
embarrassed for the whole country.
an example of that is like, for example, my wife brings this up all the time. If you can go back to the 90s and talk about President Clinton and Newt Gingrich, those two men hated each other. Like it was so clear that they disliked each other very strongly. But they were still somehow able to get things accomplished. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they understand that it's like this is a job that we're in. I don't have to like you as a person, but we're here to actually do a job, not to just be here and just yell and scream and rant. And then and I saw somebody, for example, who after the debate, I don't know why I read comments. I don't know why I watch Fox News. I think I kind of low key hate myself. I don't know why I do these things. I do it anyway. I do it anyway. And then I saw somebody literally say in the comments, they're just mad because Trump has accomplished every single thing he said on the campaign. I was just like, let's run through it. Let's run through it. He promised to lock Hillary up. She's very free, right? He promised to build a wall. There is, I think about what they said, like 3 miles of wall, maybe more, 30. I don't know. It's like something along those lines. But it's not a wall that is up between. So we're not, when we're talking about the wall, we're not even getting to the part that he said Mexico was going to pay for it because they didn't do that shit either,
Oh,
right?
hell no.
So he takes credit for an economy that he inherited, which people don't want to talk about that either. Like that, the
Well,
economy.
ain't nobody trying to get a black man credit now. Come on.
So it's like when you say he went on a campaign tour talking about how he was going to bring back factory jobs. No. So when you say he's accomplished everything he set out to do, what accomplishments are we talking about exactly? Because even when he tried to ban all the Muslims, that didn't hold up either.
No.
Like, so what are we talking about?
I think what they're talking about is, I think if they're honest, all they voted for is making America great again. And for them, that means uh, putting black folks, brown folks, gay folks, uh, and the like in their place. And from what they can see, that's somewhat happening because he at least has been bold enough to challenge us, which is why we are protesting and marching. He's about to put a Supreme Court justice on the bench. So, pretty soon women won't have any rights about their bodies. So, you know, basically misogyny, racism, and things like that, he has at least taken on and proudly been a racist. And that's what some of them have wanted. All this other shit they didn't care about. That is what it's all been about, is white supremacy. And I will say that we do have to give the man credit, and that he has elevated and promoted white supremacy. He has done that, and so that's really, when they said "Make America Great Again," that's what they were talking about. And you got to give a man credit for that.
I mean,
You got to come on now. He's a white supremacist. He has pushed the thing.
We can loop our way back to the Proud Boys
Oh,
comment. We can loop our way back to that. I want to talk first, before we talk about that part of it. Gayle King interviewed Donald Trump Jr. after the debate and specifically asked him about his father's response to the Proud Boys. And then he's like, no, my father's definitely willing to, denounce white supremacy or what have you. But when you got people talking about things like the Charlottesville hoax, and then I stopped it right there. I was like, the Charlottesville hoax. So you mean the one where a woman actually died being hit by a car? That's the hoax we're talking about. Cool. Like, not only is a woman dead, that guy's in prison for killing her, and they investigated it in the beginning as a hate crime because like,
if they don't want to believe it, they just say it's not true. It didn't happen.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the way my brain works. I think of a lot of things in terms of either like music or comedy, and there was a scene from Aziz Ansari did a stand up years ago where he was talking about R. Kelly, and he was talking about R. Kelly talking to Torre when Torre asked him point blank, "Do you like teenage girls?" And R. Kelly said, "When you say teenage, how old are we talking?" And then Aziz was like, "That's literally the worst answer. The only other worst answer would have been like, yeah." And I thought of that exact phrase when the Proud Boys thing came up, because stand back and stand by is literally the worst thing you could say other than, yeah, Proud Boys, go outside and shoot some people. That's literally the only other step that would have made that worse. There is no clearer of a question in the world. There's literally no clearer of a question in the world. See, and here's the thing, because I see people, because people have excuses for everything. I see people trying to excuse the Proud Boys, right?
Really?
Randy.
Oh God! Come on.
I want you guys to literally understand. This comes from, because I've looked into all this guy. I forget his last name. First name is Gavin. I know.
Oh yeah. I saw his videos.
His first name is Gavin. He started the Proud Boys. He's one of the founders of Vice. Take that for what you will, people who watch Vice. Anyway, Gavin, by his own words, started the Proud Boys to maintain white heritage and to make other people adhere to white heritage. That is a quote that came out of Gavin's mouth.
Yes.
So don't look at any of us and tell us that the Proud Boys aren't exactly what they say they are. They are
clear about who they are.
Their literal goal in life is to maintain white identity and make other people adhere to white identity. That is a verb. Like, the only reason why he's no longer a member of the Proud Boys is because, according to him, they went too far. Bullshit. It's because, you know, you're selling my reputation, so I gotta go distance myself. But he hasn't denied or shut down any of the theories that they walk around with. So there's literally no clear. But then again, I don't know why any of us are actually surprised. This man Trump claimed years ago that he didn't know who David Duke was.
Right.
Claimed he didn't know who David Duke was. I gotta look into it. You gotta look into the KKK.
Well, listen, the thing that annoys me, and you know, is that people are trying to deny that he is racist. He is most certainly racist.
What do you need?
There's nothing more they need. And what kills me are all the people who have been punished for saying he's a racist. You know, they fired Jamel Hill for her saying that he was racist, whatever, 4 years ago. And so many people have suffered for saying what's the truth. I mean, he is a racist. He's clearly a white supremacist. And let me say something. And I was like, and we need to be able to call a thing, because how do we ever fix anything if we don't say, put a name on it? Like, we can't call him a racist because he's the president. No, we really should call it out because he's the president.
What you just said right there is exactly something that Trevor Noah said a long time ago, where they asked him, what do you think is the difference between, you know, apartheid in South Africa and the racial issues here? And he said the difference is South Africa admitted what apartheid was. And making that admission is what allows them to move forward. Same thing with Germany. Germany completely disavows any of the ideals by the Nazi Party and Hitler. Yep. And they're able to move forward because of it. We literally live in a land where you can't say the obvious, because saying the obvious is somehow anti-American, when it's like, no, this is literally what America was built on.
Oh, like, no, they always call people like us who call it out divisive. And I'm like, no, we're telling the truth. And what's sad about it is that it is a bold move for someone to speak the truth, even the obvious truth, and that people can get fired for doing it. And so it's just amazing to me that while there's a racist, people will elect a racist to run our country, and still the majority of white people, you know, intend on voting for him. You know, white people haven't, you know, the majority of white people haven't voted for Democrats since Lyndon Johnson, right? So they wouldn't win without Black and brown people. You know, they still vote for him, and they have to understand and accept and adopt that they're voting for a white supremacist. And that's because most of them want to stay in power. It doesn't mean that they don't want us to have something, but ultimately they do want white supremacy, or they certainly don't give a shit.
But it's the math part of me, the engineer part of me, because I think about things in very logical.
That's good, because I don't.
and for the people who support Trump, like I'm not even coming from this from like a pointing a finger perspective or angry perspective. Like, I really want a genuine answer. How has your life improved in the last 4 years?
It has,
Really?
but they think it will because of the fact that they think once there's because white supremacy. I mean, imagine the power. So white supremacy is founded on the idea that even the lowest fifth grade educated, addicted to drugs, the 5 out of wedlock children white person is superior to someone like President Obama. Like it is founded on that, and
Right.
so people
And
need
here's
that for their
and here,
self-esteem.
but here's the thing. That has been the norm in this country the entire time, and your life still isn't better.
Right.
So, and on top of that, you voted for this guy. We're coming to the end of his first term, and still nothing's really improved from you. In fact,
But he
you pay
provides
more
them
in
with hope.
you pay more in taxes now than you did before.
But he provides them with hope, with the idea that one day they can be in charge. And these,
But you have the opportunity to be in charge now, and a lot of you just aren't good enough to do it.
well, that would mean looking at themselves. They don't want you. What you want them to have personal responsibility?
Like,
Now, come on now. No,
so
no,
so so you so you
they're not successful because an immigrant took their job. They're not successful because a black man took their job. They aren't successful because of the crime of the black man. They're not successful for everything but them. So you want them to reflect and take ownership and own their fuck ups? No, that ain't happening.
apparently not, because it's like, so you're thinking that in this next 4 years you're going to magically turn things around that didn't happen in the previous 4 years, which then in turn didn't happen for whatever the last three generations of your life. You just think if he just gets in for the second term, magically everything's going to be better.
Yeah, because look how angry he has started. Look how angry he's gotten people. He speaks his mind and he's addressing our issues. And now finally, these poor white people have a voice. They can go and stand on Capitol buildings with AK-47s and it's fine. And their civil liberties are no longer being held back. The anti-maskers could go into grocery stores and stuff like that. I mean, they felt empowered. This fool has made these people feel so empowered, and they're happy. They're happy even though they go home to the same fucking trailer they were going to home to before. They have the same lives, but they at least feel empowered because they can scream and yell, and they think they're number one. And any day now it's changing. He preys off of the hopeless who feel as if they have been done wrong and that America is theirs, not ours. But let's get on these anti-maskers and how that's worked out for them.
I was just about to say, y'all's Lord and Savior is out here sick now too. Look. Okay.
It gets
Look, it's like me. I don't, I'm never the one to wish ill on anybody, but it's
no.
but gee, like, come on, man. Like,
Come
on, man. Like, so you spent so much time pretending like this thing wasn't really real, which we know that was a front, because behind closed doors, you were very aware of this thing.
Oh, yeah.
That you were just doing it as a position for other people, so then they can put their faith in you, as opposed to the people who, went to school for this. Because, apparently Fauci's the enemy. The CDC is the enemy.
Right.
The WHO is the enemy, despite the fact that they've been telling you since December that this was happening. And y'all's favorite president now all of a sudden gets it. I had a conversation though with some of my boys, and they and I can concur with this. I think they're gonna try and spin this as hey, we survived. It's not that bad. Everybody, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be cool. And it's gonna be like, you guys are gonna keep on getting yourselves fucked up listening to this guy.
Well, listen, I think that's how he hopes that he can spin it, but he has not sent a tweet. I think at this moment, 11 hours or something like that. He hasn't tweeted. So he ain't do it, because that fool would tweet if he could. So he ain't feeling 100%. They're saying it's mild symptoms. At the end of the freaking day, Look,
He's
I'm
in his
49
70s.
years. I'm about to be 50. We don't bounce back from shit the same way. That man is 74 years old. He has heart issues and he's obese, according to the standard of obesity. He's being knocked on his ass a little bit. Okay. I don't know about Melania because she's plastic anyway. I mean, I don't even know if she's human, but this man is it's not gonna just be a sniffle and that's it. Because if it were, he'd be tweeting right now. He'd be tweeting like, "Hey, thanks for the well wishes. I'm doing great. This is no big deal. This is people tried to make it bigly. It's not bigly.
But,
I'm
but just
fantastic."
but just ask yourself, what is this all for? Like, what is like? I don't I for the life of me, I don't understand the partisanship in this country. Like, I for the life of me, like I don't get it. Like, I don't understand what is the allegiance that makes people just essentially put their own well-being at risk. And I'm not even just talking about the virus. I'm just talking about just in general. Like, you're putting yourselves at risk. Like the people, because before this, it was the people who were campaigning against Obamacare, but then weren't even smart enough to know that it was the same thing as the Affordable Care Act that you guys are actually using to help you. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the ACA was flawless. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't. But it's like, you don't know half the time what you're rebelling against just because you know the other side did it.
Right.
Or
Well,
the
that's what
other side is saying this, so I have to be against
Elsie, you think, right? You have higher order thinking. You can look at a complex issue and look at it multiple ways. You're dealing with people, and this is going to sound probably halfway arrogant, but I mean it.
You're a
Not everybody
coastal
that you
elite,
do is telling-
Randy. You're a coastal elite, Randy.
I am a coastal elite. That's true. That is true. Actually, I'm gonna own that. You're dealing with some people who they don't think deeply. They all they think, and you if you realize if you look at it, Donald Trump always talks in those ways: bad guys, good guys, us versus them. Democrats versus Republicans. It's always that because he knows a lot of people. That's the only way they can think, right? And so it doesn't even matter what you're for. It's really more about who you're against. That's all they care about. It's like it's for them. It is like the Cowboys versus the Deadskins, the Redskins, when they were called that. It's like a team thing. And so they're just rooting for the team and they don't care how it happens. It's not about logically looking at something and saying, and looking at the complex issue and how it affects you. They don't think on that higher order of thinking. You can. They're not doing that. You can say, I'm for this candidate, although I'm able to see these flaws. This is something I'd like to change. I have some questions about this. You could do that because you think that way. They just say he's bad, he's good. They're looking at it like a movie, like you look at it like the Avengers or something, the bad guys and the good guys. That's as deeply as they could think. And uh, Trump is their great white hope, and that he's rooting for. No matter, I'm gonna tell you, they could come. I keep saying it. They could come out with pictures of him with a small girls naked, and they would still be on his side. And that's why I don't even pay attention to the stuff they dig up because they don't care. Did you hear the tapes of Melania's?
Is this where it was something along the lines of like she was upset about it was something like related to Christmas or something like that? I didn't read the entire story.
They gave no shits about Christmas, gives no shits about the immigrant kids coming over to the country and living in cages. Like she basically
She's an immigrant.
she get but she's a white immigrant. See, it's different. You're not understanding. You're not understanding. No, we're talking about the brown immigrants when that's what it's just understood.
I just
But I'm like, they don't care what that woman says. There's
like
nothing that they
people,
can dig up that those imbeciles would turn against that man.
my thing is this. People like to say that Trump might be the most divisive in terms of the presidents. I don't even think that's where the real issue is. The thing that Trump has been able to do is that he has eradicated the concept of truth for people.
Yeah.
Where you literally cannot say true things because they will then in turn introduce some doubt in these people's minds that'll make them not believe something that's clearly in front of them. Like, I remember it was another one of those late night shows where somebody said to this Hispanic woman, Trump said, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. And she said, no, he didn't. And then the lady was like, no, there's a video of this. He said this at a campaign rally. No, he didn't. If you have a video, it's not real. It's fake. Fake news. You're fake news. I'm just like, so even things that we like, that we have clear evidence of, they refuse to believe things because he has eradicated the notion of truth.
Right, it's a cult. You're in a cult when you stop thinking and being on to look at things. When you just follow someone to follow them, no matter what they say. I mean, it was interesting to me. I'm looking at the tweets because I got to look at look at these people, and they're dogging people for not feeling horribly that this man is sick. And I'm like, have you not been seeing the things he's been saying at the rallies? I mean, he literally just dogged Biden for wearing a mask, right? He has been horrible. And I was like, so you all of a sudden now you want to be Christian? Like now you want to be caring? What the fuck?
They literally made jokes about Biden hiding in a bunker and not actually getting amongst the people. That was literally the knock against Biden during this campaign trail.
Yep. And he talked about how big his mask was and why does he always have on a mask? I mean, and yet Biden did check.
Herman Cain died. And then the people that run his Twitter account are still saying that the virus isn't that bad.
Isn't that sad?
He's literally like, listen.
He's dead.
If I get shot 80 times and then you try to tell me that gun violence isn't that bad, my spirit's gonna be pissed. I'm haunting somebody. Like, I need you to fix the words on this fucking social media account. This is bullshit. Like,
and they didn't even recognize his death. I mean, they gave two shits about his death.
They flew right on by that.
Right on by.
Right on by.
So what do you think is going to end up happening with this whole coronavirus thing? I mean, with Trump, because my thing is, I think he's sicker than he is. They're claiming. I do think he'll live. He's going to get the best care, but I do think that he's going to be very sick. I don't think this is going to be tomorrow. Someone else might tweet for him, but I think that he's going to be sick. I know the doctors have been on that have been treating it. They said they've never seen it where a 74-year-old or older people, it's just like, whatever. It affects elderly people. That's why we've had issues in our,
not according to Fox News, because once again, I hate myself. So
you clearly just like to punish yourself.
There was a doctor who, they up the age a little bit. They said it's like, well, coronavirus really only hits people the worst when they're 80 and above. If you're 70 to 79, there's only like a 8% higher chance of you being sicker than this. And I'm just like, all right, so we just playing with the metrics. So to answer your question though, even if you're right and he is sicker than what they're leading on to be, I do believe he'll be fine. And I do believe that they'll then turn around and use this as he'll make himself a martyr kind of for the virus, but then turn around and say something along the lines of, see, we can all make it together as a country. And then, we're doing things very bigly to make sure that everybody is good and everybody is fine. Everybody's safe. We're so safe. I'm so healthy now. Melania is so healthy now. He's going to do, a whole lot of that. And then
I think more people are going to get it because already, what's the boy Reed or somebody else? Is it Utah? I don't know. One of his guys. I mean, I think it's going to be several more people who are going to get it.
I don't know if that's true. I heard Giuliani has it. I don't know if that's true. So I'm not going to.
Oh, I heard that.
I'm not going to go out there. Somebody asked me if they feel like Giuliani isn't young either. He's like, if he did have it, do you think? And things I was just like, man, Giuliani too evil to die.
He's way too evil. That's why I said.
It just rots his teeth instead. He's too evil to die. Like he's not like that's not this. And I don't want people to think that I'm out here making light of any of it because no, the virus is always serious. You guys want
new to us.
But see, and the thing is, I literally just had this conversation with my father this morning where I said, once again, you see, she keeps walking back and forth. But like the conversation I had with my dad this morning was that um she cat just made me lose my train of thought. What was what were we
Oh,
talking
we were
about?
talking about you. We're not making light of the fact, the light
Yeah.
of the
All right.
coronavirus.
So no, what I just had a conversation with my father this morning where I said people are basically, whether they realize it or not, they're mad at science for working. And the reason why I say that is because you look at it and say, oh, only 200,000 people died. That's not that bad when you look at it in terms of how many people live in America. I was just like, so the only way to get people to understand this is if you had 1918 Spanish flu numbers. And I'm just like, you do realize science has come a long way to avoid that.
Right. Well,
Like
and
we're
7
literally
million have gotten it. 7.3 million people have been infected with it. And so what annoys me, I was talking about this morning, we're just talking about the people who have died, but there are a lot of people who are jacked up.
right.
Like their lives will never go back to the way they were.
And the
Permanent
difference
lung damage
is,
and shit.
millions of people also got the Spanish flu as well. It's just that a much, 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 much higher percentage of them died because science didn't catch up yet to keep them alive.
Right.
So whether you guys realize it or not, you're mad at science for working. Would you prefer that millions of people died? Is that what you want in order to take things more seriously? No. You want people to be safe. You motherfuckers is out here having Bar Lives Matter rallies and talking about how masks are oppressing you.
Yes.
When your Lord and Savior is in the White House sick right now off the thing that's not real.
Yep.
It's not real, but he's sick.
Not that bad. And this kills me. We don't say you have to wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask. You just have to wear a mask when you fucking around me. So the thing is like, if you want to be at home or you want to be in your places and all you anti-maskers want to get together and breathe on each other, I give no shits. But you can't invade my rights, right? Now we have a problem when I can get sick because of some dumb shit you're doing.
But Randy, America is free. This is freedom. I thought we were free. I have a right to be outside infecting everybody.
If I want to. So before we go, we do have to speak about Breonna Taylor. And I know we've been talking so much about her, but the tapes were released today. The grand jury tapes were released a couple of hours ago. As far as I know, I haven't heard anything that's happened, but we do know that Daniel Cameron didn't even present the option of homicide. Wasn't even on the table.
Right. I'm not surprised at all. The reason why I'm not surprised at all is the minute I heard that some of the jurors wanted to talk, I was like, oh yeah, they're tired. They're fed up because they know that the grand jury has been taking the heat for this. When they know there's like, listen, we're going off what we've been presenting. Like, if people don't know how grand juries work, a prosecutor presents a case to them, present like potential outcomes, potential crimes committed, and then based on the evidence there, they see if there's enough to bring forth a trial. So if the murder is not on the table, they can't just say, hey, let's charge the motherfucker with murder. That's not how that works. So clearly they got tired of being the scapegoat for the fact that this man didn't even, it was never. So when he gets there and talks about, I'm a black man this and I'm teary-eyed and mentions her name at the fucking RNC, it's like, dog, you had no intention.
None.
Of doing right by her at all. Like, you never had an intention to do right by her.
And what's going to be so interesting, because he's going to be the fall guy for this. I mean, because he was the puppet. He's not the puppeteer. We all know that, but he was the puppet and he's going to fall. I hope, please let him fall. And it's going to be so interesting how he's going to see how nobody's going to have his fucking back. How all those people that he's, shucked and jived for and kissed their asses are going to let him go down. Because I really do believe he's going down. But, anytime someone, because what the nerve you have to say to get to the point to say, I actually want to press some charges. I need for some things to be released to the top head. Like, that means you got some shit. he knows there's some shit because he asked for a 2-week delay and the tape's being released. I'm like, why you need a delay? Like, why do you need a delay? If it's if your woman says, let me see your phone, why I gotta be like, give me 2 hours with it? Why I need 2 hours? If I'm good about what's on my shit, it's like, here you go. What you need to do in those 2 weeks? What's happening? Why can't you just hand it over if there's nothing that you did that was wrong? Please let him go down.
But like I said before, like once again, being married to a lawyer, I knew once she explained it to me, I was like, I knew where this was headed. As much as it sucks, I knew where this was headed. But it's just very disheartening to know that there wasn't even an attempt. Even if it gets shot down and the grand jury is like, no, we're not going to go that route. You didn't present it to them because you never intended to do right by her.
Never intended to
you never
right.
intended
Her murder.
that happen. You
Never intended. No, and it is. I mean, the level of conspiracy and cover up is just disgusting. And the thing is that this is just representative of the way Blacks are treated, by the justice system, and police are treated by the justice system. And it's such, it shows so much. I hope people understand that this is just a freaking example. And this is why we march, and this is why we kneel, and this is why me and you get on here and talk, and this is why we write, and this is why we angry.
But don't protest unless you're protesting in another country, because only then will Americans understand why you're protesting if it's happening somewhere else. They don't understand it if it's happening here. They understand it.
They understand if it's happening here as long as it's like white women, like the women's march, like the Me Too movement with the pink hats. That was wonderful, and it was a wonderful show of democracy. It's when Black people are involved, it's about Black lives, and it becomes, violent, and they will, point out any looters that came up that usually haven't even been the Black people, but okay.
Yeah, I was just about to say, any looters that aren't Black people, aren't from the places where the protests are happening, or are the ones that are actually having violence done to them. But, we're the problem.
And let me just say this about, what are they, the good boys? Who are the Proud Boys?
Yeah.
One thing that's interesting to me, they said they're ready and they're coming. I don't know if you've been watching these videos of them, because
I have. Because I hate myself, Randy.
Your ass goes to the hood. Go where we are now, since you got so much fucking nerve and mouth. Don't go to Portland, Oregon, where there are like no Black people. Since you so big and bad, make sure you carry your asses over to where we are. Come on out there.
Keep in mind that literally never happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guarantee. I can't listen, and I'm not here trying to, paint any sort of picture about anything. All I'm saying is, as a born and raised Bronx guy, I promise you, the Proud Boys are not coming to the Bronx.
They're not coming to the Bronx. They're not going to Chicago. They ain't going to Atlanta.
I promise you, you're not coming to the Bronx.
And that's what kills me, because there was this white boy. One of my pet peeves are the people who used to be muscular, like maybe played football in high school, and then they're now just fat, right? But they think they're big, so they think they're still muscular. And so it's one of those. He's on there talking shit, like, let me tell you something, we're coming, we're getting ready. I'm like,
coming all,
you can't catch nobody. 3 swings, you out of breath, fool. Like 3 swings, you out of breath. I mean, like, talk that shit. It's easy to talk that shit. It really did look like his little double wide trailer talking shit about what he's gonna do with his former, football body that now just like fat. He's a fat little chubby boy talking this mess. I'm like, y'all talk that shit live to us. Go on, do it. But they're gonna be in Portland. That's where they're gonna be. They're gonna be in Portland.
It'll never happen.
Town in Wisconsin talking shit.
I'm sure there's some people in South Central that I'd like to talk to you.
Oh yeah, we should invite them. But anyway, I would say this: I didn't wish for Donald Trump to get sick. Well, maybe I did a little bit. I can't lie, but now that he is, I'm a little lighter today. And let me tell you why. Not because so much that he's sick, but what I was feeling. I told people, I said, it feels like Easter. He has risen. Because it was starting to feel like, when you looked at the Breonna Taylor, and I mean, just all the stuff that has been happening and all that Trump was able to get away with, it felt like good was not winning at all. It felt like we couldn't catch a break. Like even the things that should have been just so simply seen as wrong and so simply seen as right, right? I understand that a lot isn't, that we were just like, it almost felt like we were alone in this. I was like, it just felt like, the universe, everyone had to like, I'm just done. I'm just leaving y'all. I honestly felt forsaken, which is why you want to give up sometimes. Cause I'm like, why am I even training people? Why am I doing these talks? Why am I writing? Because it just seems like evil has won, and black people can't get a fighting chance on anything. Even with the coronavirus, we were dying. With the amount of jobs, we're the main ones losing. It just, Breonna Taylor, the murders, everything, it just didn't seem like we can win. And I'm having friends who are were getting the coronavirus just from like going to the grocery store, and I'm like, I see this jackass walking around without a mask in rallies, and I'm like, what is happening here? And so it does at least feel as if, okay, the science is right. The things are making sense. We haven't been completely forsaken. So I'm not saying I'm happy he got the virus. Actually, but I might be just a little bit relieved that science is real and we haven't been fully forsaken. Because I'm telling you, honey, I didn't know what was going on with this earth.
Might still be a little bit more pessimistic, but
I'm still pessimistic. It gave me some
mostly because like I see the flip coming. They're gonna flip this into something. Really, all it's gonna do is because at this point, we're the beginning of October. We pretty much have a month left until the election. So if he has to quarantine for the next 2 weeks, so then maybe realistically we might get one more debate or something along those lines. But it's like I don't have faith in the American people. I don't. Like I really just don't have like. I heard of that college professor who's accurately picked every president since '84, and I'm thinking to myself, this would be the year to be wrong, because like this.
What did he say?
He picked Biden, but
okay.
but the only reason why I feel okay is not the right word, but he did pick Trump 4 years ago. So he did say that Trump was going to win, but of course nobody was listening to him because it was just like, how is that possible? But he knew what he knew. But this would be the year to be wrong, just because I don't have a lot of faith in. All right,
I don't have a lot of faith.
The last thing that I'll say is because really, if you look at it, Trump won because of the swing voters. So
I don't believe in swing voters. But go ahead.
No, I do. The reason why I do is because, like, say for example, there's places like Ohio, places like Pennsylvania that, depending on whatever year it is, they'll be red or blue or whatever. Right. But my thing is this: for all the people who aren't staunch Trump supporters, which not a thing on this planet can change their mind. It is what it is. But for the people who are on the fence, if you watch this last 4 years and said to yourself, yeah, I like that, I have nothing for you. I have absolutely nothing for you, because it's like I don't know what other audition you need for insanity. I don't know what other evidence you need than this. Like I don't because in a lot of cases it seems like they voted for him based on specific issues that they believe that strongly in, such as the economy, such as jobs, et cetera, et cetera. And once again, it goes back to something that I asked earlier in the video. How has any of this improved for you in the last 4 years? So you took a chance, didn't really pan out, did it? So if you guys are still on board, I have nothing for you. I don't.
Again, LC, I'm telling you, you do have too much faith in people, because you're talking about people like they're intelligent, like they're even looking at any of that. Like I don't think I think the majority of people are not looking at any of that. I think it literally is basic, like he speaks his mind and he is for us. you know, America's gonna be great again. I think it's that like that's this depth, their depth right there, and he's our guy, and that's it.
Toddlers also speak their mind. That don't mean that everything they say is to be said.
Well, but yeah, we know all that, but these people don't. These people don't. So what is your prediction? You still feel like Trump may win?
I'll put it like this: I believe Biden is going to win, but I would not be shocked in the slightest if he did.
I agree with you. I believe Biden is going to win, but I don't trust the system because I
I
was
don't. I
knocked on
don't
the ass
trust.
last election. Let me not say. So I'm traumatized. So I would not fall out, and because I don't trust these people. I mean, you know, now that we have other people involved in our elections, and you know, we've seen. Did you see that thing with Texas? How they have one voting box, drop off box now per state. So can you imagine Houston?
Mhm.
Houston has one
Hu-
box for drop off.
Houston, people, if you've never been to Houston before,
And
Houston's
if
huge.
people can't see that as criminal, then you just don't want to see it. If people don't see that as trying to voter suppression, then you just don't want to see it. And you know, because they said Texas is on the verge and it could go either way. And so um because I don't trust and there's nothing that I would put past them, that's why I know that, you know, I'm not gonna get comfortable. People still go vote, do what you gotta do.
The last thing I'll say about all that is for the life of me, and in regards to why I don't have a ton of faith, is for the life of me, I don't understand why people still believe in polls.
That's another thing. That's true.
I don't understand why you guys believe in polls. Like, because it seemed like for maybe the first year after 2016, people eased up off of the polls because they realized just how fucking wrong they were
Yep.
in regards to the election. But then as time went on, I saw them introducing more polls again. It was like, and now it's back to the same level of discussion. And I'm just like, you do realize that they were very wrong 4 years
Right.
ago, right? So I don't understand why you guys are looking to these polls as any sort of authority on what's actually going to happen because
Right. Because the polls said that
it's
Hillary was
wrong.
gonna win.
Right.
Yeah. So they need so still vote for people. Don't get out there and say I ain't voting because we good. We ain't good. We ain't good.
We got them. We've got them.
It's been more than a week. Like it's amazing to think that you texted me on Wednesday, like, oh my God, we got to talk about this debate. And like the debate is like the smallest thing.
This is the smallest thing that we talked
Like
about because it's
that,
like
that's America. Like, give us a day. We will, you know, that joke when people say hold my beer, like things can't get worse. And it's like hold my beer, and it does.
like I was just I was actually flabbergasted, and I'll tell you to be transparent. The night that it happened, I didn't watch it because
No.
I wanted to keep my sanity. I didn't.
Yeah, no, I watched like it's interesting because my kids wanted to see it. And I let them because I really am trying to protect my sanity, the little tiny little piece
Right.
I have left. Like I only have a little bit left, so I got to be protective.
So I went back. And then checked because I saw how on fire everybody was about it. I was like, all right, let me go see what they talking about. But yeah, the night that it happened, I was just like, because it's like I've reached a point where I don't want to watch the news.
Nope.
I don't want to see these. Like, I don't want to check social media. I don't want to do any of that because like I feel like it just intrudes on my peace of mind.
Right. Nope.
And
I'm with you.
I don't want any part of it.
I'm trying to protect my spirit, while also keeping somewhat abreast. So I still haven't watched the whole thing. I mean, I kept going in and out, you know, when my boys were watching it. But there's something actually I don't even like to see Trump because I feel like it messes with me. I swear I'm empathic. I think I take on people's energy. He just messes with my soul, even looking at him. So I just stay away.
Yeah. So before we sign off, the last thing I just want to say is I'll punch a Proud Boy in the face. Don't do it.
Oh yeah, listen, I will too.
So take
I
that
am
for
from
what
the
you will.
Bronx. I am from Southern Virginia. And I don't play either.
You can stand by and catch a right to the face. Don't.
Yeah. Listen, but they know that. That's why they ain't coming. They ain't coming. They ain't messing with certain people. All right, you enjoy the rest of your day.
Same to you.
Good talking
Take
with you
care.
always.
Bye.
Bye.